We're up here in Northern California in the Redding area. We'll be here for the next few days. We'll be visiting Lassen National Park, Burney Falls, McCloud Falls, and the Lake Shasta Caverns. We've made it to our first stop and our first waterfall on this trip. So we're at Burney Falls and we'll be doing the Falls Loop, which is 1.2 miles. You can hear the falls already. And a view of the falls from the overlook. And some facts about Burney Falls. And we're going to continue on and do the loop trail. There's a pretty big difference in temperature from the overlook spot to where we're at right now.
But that's not the source of all this water, right? All this water being kind of water down here. We got a like 50 years.
Okay. So I would definitely say this waterfall makes my top 5, not only because of the split waterfall, but also because of the water streaming through the face of the cliff. Okay, so now we're continuing and doing the loop trail back up to the parking lot. And a hillside full of lava rock as we continue down the loop trail. I'm not going. Yeah, it's pretty wide until you're on and you're actually walking. It's sketchy, huh? Come on back. All right, now safely back on the paved trail. I wonder if the falls loop actually did continue that way, but because of the fallen tree, is this a detour or is this the actual loop? Once you cross the bridge, the trail continues following along the water. Then it does a switchback up this hill, and then from here it looks like we have a steady incline back to the top, to the parking lot. Coming up to another switchback, but there's also another viewing spot for the falls. And I think these last set of steps, and we're back up at the top. But we do have to cross over because the parking lot was on the other side, so and we're at a fork in the road, Pacific Crest Trail that way, and we're continuing on the falls loop. So we just finished up with the loop trail. I'm gonna head into the general store to see if I can find a patch to add to the collection on my backpack. Okay, so we're leaving Burney Falls now and heading to our next stop. Okay, so our next stop is like a quick 5-minute drive from Burney Falls, and it is the train tracks from the movie Stand By Me. Now on to our final stop for the day, and then we go check into our Airbnb. Last stop of the day, the subway cave. was a quick little walk from the parking lot. It should be about a third of a mile to get to the caves. Ooh, feel the temperature drop. And you gotta watch your footing. Without the headlamps. Is that a dead end over there? Yeah, I think so. I believe this is where we're at right now. Okay, so I know there's another group in here because we saw them exiting their vehicle and coming towards the trail when we first got here. But otherwise, it pretty much seems like we're here. Have this cave all to ourselves, which makes it pretty cool for photos and video. But it's kind of creepy. But we can hear the other group every now and then talking, so we know we're not alone. I don't even see how bumpy it is. There you go. I know earlier I mentioned you had to really watch your footing in here. But I didn't really show the path. But here you go, that's a good shot. Shows how bumpy it is in here. And we've made it to the exit. Once we exited the subway caves, there's a trail that you could take back to the parking lot. It's a bit longer than actually just walking back into the cave. I felt a bit sketchy because there was no one else on the trail. Well, now we're passing Pacific Crest Trail. Hello, hello.
Hi, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you, sorry.
So it was a bit sketchy because we were on here by ourselves for a minute, and it kind of didn't seem like it was heading in the direction of the parking lot. We finally hit a bend in the trail, and we could see cars, and I was like, yes, salvation. Yeah, but FYI, just go back the same way. Go through the subway cave. A lot cooler too, not exposed to the sun. Yes, the road and the parking lot. All right, now we're gonna head back into Redding. That's where we're staying at. That's where our Airbnb is at. But before we check into our Airbnb, we're gonna do a quick stop at the grocery store. All right, so we've made it to our Airbnb. Guess I got a little, wouldn't say it's a full-size kitchen, but we do have a fridge, and then microwave and toaster over there, washer and dryer, and the bedroom, the bathroom, and tub and shower combo, and then closet. Okay, so that's pretty much going to be it for day one. We picked up a pizza before checking into the Airbnb. Again, we stopped off at the grocery store to buy some stuff, so we're just gonna have our pizza for dinner, call it a night, and we'll pick this up again tomorrow.
Hilltop Drive, then use the middle lane to turn left onto East Cypress Avenue.
Okay, morning. Today we're heading to Lassen National Park. Okay, we've made it to Lassen National Park. And right at the entrance of the park, you can see all the damage from the Dixie fire. So our first stop is Sulphur Works. We did stop off at the visitor center first. I picked up a new hat, bought a patch. I just realized I didn't show my patch for Burney Falls, but that's back at the Airbnb. So when we get back, I'll show both the Burney Falls and the Lassen Volcanic National Park patch. And you can already start to smell the sulfur. Yeah, you smell it downwind, but once you get past it, you don't smell it anymore. Okay, we're heading over to Bumpass Hell now. Okay, quick little stop off the road to Emeral Lake. Okay, we're at the Bumpass Hell parking lot, but before we start the trail, we're gonna come over to this vista. Alright, got our packs with our water and we're gonna start this hike. I'm gonna track this hike and see if it's really 3 miles, a little shy or a little more. The trees are so green they look fake. Looks like a fake Christmas tree. This is the first time I've seen pine trees do this, bend up like that. Seen palm trees, but never pine trees. But I guess it's true for all trees. A little glimpse of Helen Lake. That'll be our next stop. On this bend we should see the boardwalk area. Hello. We're heading down to the boardwalk now. Not sure what insect's making that. I thought I saw a lotus fly away when we were at the other viewpoint, and it almost sounded like that, but I think you can hear the sound a lot more here, probably bouncing off the rocks. And yeah, I don't know if I can catch it. It's pretty over there, but you can see one flying. Look right there. Brian Pran Trail, alternate trail to Bumpass parking area. No overlook, and then the Bumpass Hell boardwalk. Oh, you hear it? The like the water boiling, I guess. Almost smells. Oh, it smells. Almost sounds like little small eruptions. We're making the hike back to the parking lot now. Next stop will be Helen Lake. Try to put my feet in the water. I know it's going to be freezing, but I want to try it. Yeah, once we get to the top of the trailhead, I'm going to stop my watch and see how many miles it was. Okay, 2.91 miles. So a little under 3 miles. Is there an easier way down? Is there? Okay, we made it to Lake Helen, trying to find a way down. No? Let's go this way. I think this way may be better. Yeah, this way's pretty okay. Look at that water. It's like the Caribbean, but obviously a lot more blue. Hmm. All right, you know.
Little thingy stuff right there.
Oh, shit is. Oh. No. Whew. Oh, that's cold. Whew. Okay,
You can feel like your legs.
like I can't feel my feet after a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. My feet dried up back in my warm shoes. Next we're heading over to the Devastated Loop Trail. It's called Devastated Loop Trail because of the devastation caused by the volcano eruption back in 18 something. We're at the Devastated Interpretive Trail now. And let's see if it shows when this erupted. Oh, so it's only half a mile loop. Oh, so 1915. I said 1800s. So you have these panels where you can read some of the information or push this little blue button here, and then there's an audio clip that plays. The audio is not exactly reading the description for you, it's other information. So that big boulder right there is called a black dicet, and it was carried down by the avalanche after the eruption 3 miles away from here where Lassen Peak is at. Here's another one, and they called this one a hot rock, and you can actually see the photo here and Lassen Peak in the distance. Oh, so that's why it's called hot rock, because 3 days after the eruption it was still too hot to touch. Here's somewhat of a better shot of Lassen Peak in between the two pines there. Oh yeah, I see. This is what it looked like before the eruption. Had all those trees, and after the eruption. Our last stop for Lassen National Park. Probably just gonna head back into Redding and grab something to eat. So we've been back here at the Airbnb for a while now. We rested, grabbed something to eat. Still pretty tired though. But we're gonna head over to the to check out the Sundial Bridge. But I brought out my patches. So this is the Lassen, the Burney Falls. Couldn't find a Christmas ornament, so I bought this keychain, and I'm gonna make it into a Christmas ornament. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head out and go check out the Sundial Bridge. So we are expecting rain tomorrow, and the clouds finally came in. And we've made it to the Sundial Bridge. Oh, because it's actually, you can actually see through it. It's like glass. Cool feature, but again, when it's raining. Pretty swift current too. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and head back to the Airbnb now. Probably just rest up for the rest of the night, and tomorrow we are going to McCloud Falls and the Shasta Caverns. It's gonna be a rainy day today, but we're still sticking to our plans. We're heading up to McCloud Falls and then to the Shasta Caverns. Okay, so we just arrived. We're stopping at Upper Falls first. We're just doing the trail to the overlook here. Getting closer to the falls because you can already hear the water. We're actually right on top of it, but the viewing deck or the viewing area wraps around over there, so we'll go over there in a minute to get a better shot. But right now we're right on top of the falls. Our plan was to do the 4-mile hike connecting all 3 falls, but because of the rain, we're just driving to each falls. The next one we're going to is Middle Falls. That one does have some switchbacks down to the bottom, so we will be going to the bottom of Middle. And then when we get to the Lower Falls, that one too has a little trail to the bottom of the falls as well. Okay, so we're at the Middle Falls parking lot, and we've decided that we are gonna hike. We're gonna do Middle Falls to Lower Falls and back. The trail for all 3 falls is 4 miles. The trail for all 3 falls is 4 miles round trip, so I'm thinking this one might be like 2 miles, maybe a little bit over, but I will track it and see how many miles it is from Mid Falls to Lower Falls and back. And there is no service out here, so I'm using this GPX viewer. Kind of works like all trails, but you don't have to pay for it. You just find someone else's GPX tracks that they provide online. You download it, and then you just upload your tracks to this app, the GPX viewer. And like I said, it pretty much works just like all trails. All right, so I'm gonna start tracking the trail from the viewing point here at Mid Falls. All right, we've left the paved trail and now hit the dirt. We're on the switchbacks now to get down to the bottom of Mid Falls. Yay, the sun's starting to peek out. All right, so we're leaving Middle Falls, continuing down the trail to Lower Falls. Starting to rain a little bit, but looks like we have about half a mile to Lower Falls. All right, so there's a campground that meets up with the trail. So from the campground to Mid Falls is half a mile. And then the trail continues, but now it's paved while it goes through the campground. It's a pretty cool campground though. Surrounded by tall trees. And then you got the water right there from the McCloud Falls. And then little half-mile trail up to Mid Falls. Very tranquil. I think this is the end of the campground, and it's pointing the trail to Lower Falls. Right, and we're at the top of Lower Falls, I think. Okay, we made it to the overlook for the Lower Falls. I'm actually going to stop my watch right here to see. Anyway, so it was 1.63 miles from Mid Falls to the point that we're at right now. I don't think we're actually going to walk back the same way. We're going to take the street so that we avoid the switchback and the stairs at Mid Falls. All right, and that's Lower Falls, the last of the 3 waterfalls. So we did get lucky with the rain. It's nothing heavy, just a constant drizzle. But we're gonna probably start heading back to the car so we don't get too wet. These fishermen are getting really lucky. We've been standing here for like maybe 5 minutes, and they just keep pulling fish out after fish. I think so far we've seen at least 5. Oh, he got one. There you go. Okay, so that's it for Lower Falls. We're going to start heading back to Mid Falls and head over to the Shasta Caverns. All right, since we're taking the road back to Mid Falls, we cut through the campground, and here's the name of it. It's Fowler's Campground. We'll continue up the road. All right, we made it back to the parking lot at McCloud Falls. It was about the same. It was 1.67. Taking the trail was 1.63. I think it was a lot quicker though, since we're actually walking on pavement. But we're gonna get ready to head out and head over to the Shasta Caverns, like I said earlier. We'll first get out of our hiking shoes. Gotta go to the gift shop and purchase our tickets. All right, just bought our tickets for the next tour at 1 o'clock. We have about 20 minutes, and I bought a patch here too.
We don't shut down, we keep on hovering. The walls go right here on the shoreline.
Now we have a bus drive up to the cave. Now our little shuttle that will take.
So this is our man-made entrance. Yes, that one. So the natural entrance were accidentally discovered when they were blasting up to the basement room. So just say the constant of 58 degrees in here year-round. Of course. So welcome to the discovery room, guys. We call this the discovery room because it was accidentally discovered when blasting onto the lowest.
Can't really see it.
Have they found bones in here? It off and accidentally fell into the cave, but no human remains at all. I'll go slowly so you can catch back up on the steps.
Okay, cool.
So this ladder is put here in the 1940s by Shasta High School's little workshop class. There's actually a second ladder and it's extending up behind this wall right here. So if you guys have ever
Exiting the cave now.
Yeah.
And then we have 250 steps down the mountain, they said.
Rushmore, they got a route that's like this also.
Oh, I know, I want to go to Mount Rushmore.
If you do plan on going like at noon. Play naked and afraid in the rain. Cold.
So as you guys pass by, I can actually show you the original path.
All right, heading back on the boat to get across Lake Shasta, and that pretty much will conclude our tavern tour. And the rain started really coming down now. All right, heading back to the Airbnb, and it is coming down. So we're pretty much done for the day, obviously because of the rain too, but we're just gonna go grab something to eat, head back to the Airbnb. This is our last full day here in Redding. So just pack up the bags, and tomorrow we fly out. So pretty much probably just gonna end the video now because we're not doing anything tomorrow. So until the next one.